Now, to make a standard stitch, you're going to use the bars. So this is going to be easier to make. And I'm going to show you with my hook where all the bars are. So I'm going to slip this in here so that you can get a good idea of where the bars are and what they look like. Come on, here you go. So there are 3 bars that you've made, and those are the bars we're going to look for when we're making our stitch on the way down. So I'm going to insert my hook under the bar, yarn over, and pull through. I'm going to find the next bar, insert my hook, yarn over, and pull through. I'm going to look for that 3rd bar, insert my hook, yarn over, and pull through. Then I'm going to plant my stitch. See, so this is creating the body of my stitch. Now I'm going to plant it in the very next stitch, insert my hook, yarn over, and pull through. Once again, I'm going to have my 5 loops on the hook, and I'm going to work them all off by yarning over and pulling through 2. And I'm going to do that until I've filled in the body of my stitch, and I only have 1 loop on my hook. I'll show you that one more time so that you can see this. I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick up all the bars just so that you get some contrast and can see what I'm talking about. These are the bars, 1, 2, 3 bars. If I remove my hook, you can kind of see where they're stretched out a little bit. But those are the bars we're talking about working into. Once again, I'm going to insert my hook under the bar, yarn over and pull through. Insert hook under the bar, yarn over and pull through. Insert hook under the bar, yarn over and pull through. I'm going to find where I'm actually putting my stitch. So the very next chain, I insert my hook, yarn over, I pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2 until I have 1 left. And that is how you do a standard Tunisian stitch and the beginning chain. This particular stitch is called the double treble stitch. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to change color with these stitches. So we know that when we're doing color change in tapestry, whatever color this loop is right here will determine what the color of the next stitch is, right? It's the same thing when working with these stitches. So I'm going to back out 1 and I'm going to pretend I have those last 2 loops on my hook, right? I'm going to take this, take my slip knot, put it on. Get all my tails going in the right direction and my working ends going in the right direction. So all I'm going to do is use this purple to finish off my last Tunisian stitch. I'm going to give the red a little tug just to make sure that it's nice and tight. I'm going to move my red out of the way and my tails out of the way, and I'm just going to start making my stitch. Slipping my hook under the bar, pulling up a loop. Under the next bar, pull up a loop. Under the next bar, pull up a loop. Insert my hook in the next place I can put a stitch. And then yarn over and pull through 2 all the way. Now remember, I'm going to stop wherever I want to change my color, because the last loop on the hook determines what the next stitch is going to be, right? So if I wanted to change back to red, the very last time I yarn over, I would switch to my red and I'd complete the stitch. Give the purple a little tug, and now I'm ready for my next stitch to be red. I'm simply going to take the purple, kind of move it out of the way, yarn over, or I'm sorry, stick under the bar, yarn over and pull through. Under the purple bar, yarn over and pull through. Under the purple bar, yarn over and pull through. find the next space I'm putting a stitch right here, get my hook in there, yarn over. Now I'm ready to work this stitch off. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm at the last part. If I want my next stitch to be purple, I have to end with the purple. So I simply pick up the purple yarn and do that with it. Now, are you going to be creating some floats as you do your color changes? Yes, that's perfectly acceptable to do that. You do not have to carry the yarn all the way through your work when you do this technique. Because it's going to be a sweater, there is no front side and back side. You don't have to worry about that. Everything is going to be on the inside. And if you do create a float, your floats are kind of up here along the top, right? So as I go through and I'm planting my stitches for the next row, I can make sure that I'm covering up those floats to keep them from being really long so that they don't get caught on anything. So that's how you do a Tunisian color change. So now I'm going to move my red out of the way and I'm going to show you the next trick with the purple yarn. So I'm going to add a stitch. So there's a lot of increases that I use in order to make the yoke and the body and the sleeves. So this is going to show you how to do the double treble increase. It's exactly like doing normal crochet increases. Yarn under the bar, pull through a loop, bar, pull through loop, bar, pull through loop, and I'm just going to put 2 stitches in one space. So I'm going to go back to the same space this first stitch was planted. Stick my loop in, yarn over, pull through. I'm going to make sure my stitches aren't too tight by pushing them up onto the shaft portion of my hook. That way everything is uniform. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, until I get to the last one. So you can see I have 2 stitches placed in this one spot. So that's the increase. As you do the increase, it goes like that the entire way around. You just put 2 stitches, the base, into one spot. I do not have any decreasing in the patterns that I'm working. However, you might decide that you want to add decreasing so that you can do some waist shaping. Maybe you want to make a longer sleeve, so you're going to want to do some decreasing as you get to the wrist of the sleeve, just to make it have a nice taper. So I'm going to show you how to do that. If I was doing a decrease, I'm going to do one more stitch here. That way we've got a decrease we can work with, right? Stick it in the right spot. Yarn over and pull up. I want to put some space between that increase. That way, if you want to zoom in, or when I zoom in on this, you can kind of really see what I'm talking about by a decrease. So, just like a normal stitch, I'm going underneath all those bars, yarning over, pulling through, yarning over and pulling through, yarning over and pulling through. So everything up until this point is the same. The only thing that's going to change for the decrease is how you plant your stitch. I'm going to plant the stitch in 2 loops. I stuck it in the first, I yarned over and I pulled through. I'm going to stick it in a second, yarn over and pull through. So I have 1 stitch going into 2 spaces. That's going to make my decrease. But now I have a problem because I only want 3 bars on the way up. So I have to adjust for the number of loops I pull through to make that work out. My very first one, I'm going to pull through 3 loops instead of 2. Now I'm going to pull through 2 loops on everything else. And there you have your decrease. So you can see where the 2 stitches have become 1 in the way that I planted it. Like I said, this stitch is a little bit more advanced. I don't use it. However, if you want to modify any of my patterns so that there's extra waist shaping or to taper a sleeve in a way that maybe I haven't, that's the way to do it. If you guys have any questions about anything that I've demonstrated, if you have any questions that are specific to the patterns that you've purchased, feel free to contact me. You can find me on my blog at crochetrebellion.com. There's a contact button. Those go to my personal email and I will definitely answer them. You can also go to my Ravelry page at crochetrebellion.com and send me a message there as well. Thanks and happy crocheting!